Three claps, your boy Swain's back. Back at it again, Swain Swaggy Sense. And in today's video, I got tagged by your boy TZ Fragrances. I'm gonna put his link down in the description box below. You know, he has great contact, very knowledgeable about everything. You know, he's back up and running. So if you don't know about him, you should know, since I will put the link below. So shout out to my brother Trev at TZ Fragrances for allowing me to do this tag. And the tag is one designer, one niche for each season. But one thing that I realized, I don't have a lot of niche, if not any niche, to be honest. Maybe niche quality, but I don't have a specific niche. But I do have one that I just purchased a while ago that I will do a first impression and first wear and all of that. But that's kind of a top secret, so I'm not going to even put that out there in the air. So what I'm going to do with this video, I'm going to have it being one designer and one Middle Eastern, you know, because I got a lot of those. I have a lot of those fragrances and from those companies. So I'm gonna do it like that. So without further ado, let's get into this review. First season that we're going to do this list for the one designer, one niche is going to be the fall season. And I'm going to start off with the designer, luxury designer, I would say. And that's going to be from the house of Rojas. That's going to be Rojas Mustache. All right, EDP, not the EDT, but the EDP. Now this one is a staple within the fragrance community because it is not a dupe or a clone, but this fragrance had came out, and a lot of the people, I smell it in the air already, a lot of the people were giving it comparisons to YSL's Tuxedo. Obviously it's not going to be a one-to-one, but there are going to be similar comparisons to the fragrances, even though that I haven't got my nose on the OG. But if it smells anything like this, it's immaculate, I'm sure. But if you don't have the YSL's Tuxedo, if you don't want to pay that price point, then I would suggest probably going with this one. It's definitely affordable, not going to break your pockets or anything like that, and it smells amazing. So what you get with this fragrance: vanilla, tonka bean, some rose, ambery nuances, a little bit of a musky tone, and some brightness in there with some citrus notes. Like it's somewhat similar to a warm hug, you know. And this, you can dress it up, you can dress it down, but definitely a fall scent. And this stays on your skin roughly, for me at least, 6 hours. And you're definitely going to get a nice little scent trail and a nice little bubble. If you smell like this, man, I'm telling you, very luxurious, very gentleman-like as well. Almost somewhat like a barbershop, but not so much. Maybe a luxury barbershop, but man, this smells good. And it's still, I don't think the price has changed on this fragrance, but if you definitely want to smell good for the fall and you want to get close to that YSL Tuxedo's DNA, this one is the way to go, okay? And I definitely have put a little bit of a dent in this, as you can see. So I got a lot of good wear out of this. Definitely a good purchase. That's Rojas Mustache. So the next fragrance that I have for fall is going to be from Lattafa, and that is going to be Lattafa's Assad. Lattafa's Assad. Now this is going to be an inspiration of Dior Sauvage's Elixir. And you know, this one was the first one to come out. They had plenty of different clones and dupes of Dior's Elixir. But when this one came out, this one got a lot of buzz, and I can understand why. You know, sweet, patchouli, tonka bean in this, vanilla in this. I believe some cedar. Oh man, it's definitely sweeter than the actual OG. When I smelt it in the stores, you know, Sephora, Nordstrom, you know, retail stores, the OG smells a little bit denser, you know, and thicker, like a syrupy, but you know, it's a more masculine. This one is a more airy Dior Sauvage Elixir, and this one is definitely good, honestly, for all seasons. But if you really want to get the bang out of this this juice that's in this bottle, Definitely a staple within the fall. I get about 6 to 8 hours with this fragrance. And this is also in that 20, mid $20 to $30 range. And like I was just mentioning, they're coming out with so many clones, and sometimes you really don't want to keep buying the same fragrance. If I bought Lattafa's Aside, and then they have another fragrance from either Fragrance World, Lattafa, what's another one? The Maison Alhambra, like certain companies and certain Middle Eastern companies that make fragrances, they come out with different ones that are going to be repetitive. So it's one of those where it's just like you want to pick one that you can kind of stick with instead of just kind of comparing, only to save some money. If you got the bread, go ahead. Hey, look, I ain't paying for it. So just a heads up and food for thought with that. You want to stick with a fragrance that that if it runs out, you can go right back to this fragrance and purchase it again, as long as it's still on the shelf. All right. This is an awesome scent, some benzoin, some ambery nuances to this as well. They're, like I said, very airy, aromatic. Definitely going to get that scent bubble too. Man, this is good. I haven't smelled this one in a while either. So Lattafa Aside for the fall. So the next season is going to be winter. And the first one that I'm going to start it off with is going to be from Bulgari, and that is Bulgari's Men in Black. All right. This one gets compared to, the similar notes and scent profile as Victor & Rolf Spice Bomb. Man, this rum, tobacco, also vanilla, tonka bean. Oh man, this is good. Some people like this fragrance, but also some people don't really like it because it doesn't push off their skin as much. I've done some research on this fragrance, and from what I heard, some people's skin chemistry really don't push off certain fragrances, and I believe I've said that in a plethora of videos, but you just have to go with the one that works for you. Or if you want to get the bottle and you love the smell, just know that it might not last as long for you as long for someone else. This is a winter staple right here. Scarf, pea coat. And I can just see you walking through the snow to pick something up, and you're going into the store, and you walk out the store, people are just going to follow you to ask if you need help putting groceries in your car, because they just want to be around you because of how this smells. If you can get that first hour, which I do, pushing off my skin, there's no problem with a good compliment. You're gonna get it for sure. This is an 8-hour fragrance, 6 to 8 hours, but like for me, 8 hours. With that 6-hour part of it, it's more or less of a that's going to be the scent bubble for me. And then once it gets to the 8-hour, it's more seductive and close to the skin. But still, if you're around the vicinity of a person wearing this, you're definitely gonna get hints and wafts of this. All right. So that's the first one for winter. That is Bulgari's Men in Black. The next fragrance that I have for winter is going to be from the House of Maison Alhambra, and that is going to be Victorioso, Victory. And clearly, Victory, you can always think of that name, and you can always just kind of focus on what lines has Victory in it, which would be Paco Rabanne's Victory. All right. And this one is a hidden gem. This one will sneak up on you. Powdery, vanilla. This is also tonka bean heavy. Oh man. Very, it's like a subtle but aggressive scent. Like, I know that's kind of contradictory, but it pushes off when it wants to, and then it kind of calms down when it wants to, depending on if you're in the cold with it, definitely gonna push off, and then when you're in the warm, it'll push off too, but I think that it understands the fact on it doesn't want to push off as much. If you go into the building where it's warm, it's just like, all right, cool, I don't need to be as aggressive. But when you go outside, it knows the mission. Okay. This is a 6 to 8 hour fragrance as well. Majority of the fragrance that I have in this list are roughly around that. I'm not going to really have any fragrances that, not in this list at least, that are going to kind of be in that 4 hour, or just kind of like you want to spray it in the air and it smells good, just off of the complementary olfactory senses that you like to smell. But regardless, this definitely is a great pickup. About $32, I believe, something around there, on Amazon, or you can go on Fragrance Buy, you can go on FragranceNet, different discount stores. This one is a hit or miss in terms of people liking this fragrance. A lot of people don't really like the powderiness of this fragrance. You know, I've had someone say, in the same day, I've had someone say, oh yeah, you know, like, I'm not a big fan of that one. But then, you know, another person that came, another member had came up to me and said, like, yeah, you know, I like that scent because it's subtle, but I like it, like, it's good. So very subjective on this whole fragrance gig, kick, whatever. But if you want to try it, like I say, you're not really going to be breaking your pocket in terms of purchasing this. And if you don't happen to like it, you can always hand it off to somebody. Or if you just want to use it as a collectible item. All right, so that is Victorioso's Victory. The next season is going to be spring, and I'm gonna pull it up with you know, this fragrance from Dolce & Gabbana is, I think, one of the biggest hidden gems, because some people just think it's too linear, some people just think it's too boring. But if you're looking for compliments and you're looking for, you know, just to smell good and clean and fresh, this one is the way to go, okay? So we have Dolce & Gabbana's K, all right? They have the EDP, they have the Intense, but this one right here is the golden ticket, all right? So juniper berry, some citrus notes in here, cedar, vetiver. This is a heavy hitter. This is a heavy hitter for the spring. And this is a 6 to 8 hour fragrance for me, especially when it's nice and warm, or maybe even on those hot days. It's clearly gonna push off your skin. White tee, you know, some nice shorts and some shoes. You can wear this to the beach. You know, spring break right here, spring break in a bottle, possibly. Man, this is good. And even in the dry down, it gets to that vetiver note, but it still has the nuances of that juniper berry still kind of lingering in, because it still wants to kind of showcase the sweetness of this fragrance. And I couldn't be more pleased with this. And you know, funny enough, I had gotten this when they first released this, so I'm not sure if they're reformulating stuff, because you know how fragrance community knows about like the companies reformulating things and it doesn't last long, or they're not doing anything with it, or whatever the case may be. They're in control of that. But I try to save and hold on to bottles that I know that might change up in the near future. So I'm with another fragrance that I'm going to talk about in this video too, I'm very hesitant on, you know, pulling the trigger on certain fragrances. And I'm sure some people, you know, some of my subscribers can attest to that. You know, there's certain bottles that it's just like, man, like if I wear this, it's only for this. And if I do keep wearing it, I'm very cautious of how many sprays I use, because I do not want to give this bottle up. All right, so that is Dolce & Gabbana's K. So the next fragrance that we have for spring is going to be a clone of Creed's Millesimian Imperial.
What?
Hopefully I said that correctly. But we have from Armaf, Club de Nuit, Milestone. Okay, so with this, what you get is this watermelon aquatic, very airy. This is also an aromatic fragrance, cucumber-like, sea saltiness. This is like beach. This is like a beach in a bottle. If you smelt this, go ahead, smell it right there. You see what I'm talking about. But this one You have, like I said, the watermelon note, your C notes in here, some vetiver in here, I believe, musky nuances. Just, this is good. And it's still up and running on the discount sites, man. Armoff has, when they first came out, they came out with that Club de Nuit. I'm sure they came out with other ones, but when that Club de Nuit line came out, it just, man, look, they killed the game with the imitations and inspirations of the Cree line, and especially if you wanted to save some money. This one is just so good. Citrus. This is literally a beach in a bottle. This is a beach in a bottle. You can probably pull this off in the next season, which would be summer. 6 to 8 hours with this fragrance too. I remember when I first pulled this off, I believe I was at a barbecue at a coworker's event, and you know, I was just sitting down at the table, and some of my colleagues were sitting there, and they were like, "Man, like, you smell good, man." And I had to credit this bottle right here. All right, still on, and I'm still on it. All right, so that is Armoff's Milestone. So the next and last season, which would be summer, and it wouldn't be summer without having this fragrance in here, and that has to go to the House of Versace, and that is Versace Man Eau Fresh. All right, and it's definitely fresh for sure. Lemon, bergamot, some cardamom, like, man, this one, you have to have this one for summer. This is also like a dumb grab, and this is also one that you're always going to smell good. Like, even if it's a dumb grab, you're going to smell good with the dumb grab. So this might even be the signature scent for some people. I had a coworker whose signature scent was always this throughout the whole year, but still within the summer, this one is definitely going to do wonders. This is also, for me, 6 hours. You know, 8 hours is still a skin scent, but you know, that 6 hour mark is where, like, it shines. And this is not expensive. This, from a designer house, this is not expensive at all. Like, I'm not sure you know, what size bottle that you're looking to get, but you're not gonna really be, you know, pinching pennies for this fragrance, because this has been out for a plethora of years now. Yeah, you can't go wrong with this for summer. Can't go wrong with this for summer. Man, this is also like, maybe like if you go to brunch, you know, on a Sunday, man, high heat, you know, in Florida. I can just envision the picture of me, myself wearing it, but if you get the gist of my mind to, you know, pull it out there to give it to y'all can probably agree with me or not. I don't know, but this one, summer in a bottle. All right, so that is Versace Man Eau Fresh. So the next fragrance is actually going to be from the House of Dua. Now, I'm quite sad because I had gotten this when I think they put it on with Dua's website. They usually put out like new fragrances, you know, what's hot, what's popping, and you know, you should check this out, hybrids and this, that, and the third. But this had came out a few years ago, probably pre-COVID. And I had gotten this bottle, and I really wasn't the biggest fan in the beginning. But like other fragrances, you have to kind of work your way up, you know, like as your senses, your sensory, olfactory sense, and your palate gets a little bit better, and you can kind of try to pick up on some notes that you can kind of lean into and kind of appreciate as well. And I appreciate this one wholeheartedly, and they haven't put this back in stock at all. So like, I'm sorry, I didn't really want to put any like discontinued fragrances on here or anything like that, but I think they're done making this, and I'm so sad that I didn't get a backup bottle of this, because this one is the banger. This one is, let me just show y'all what this is. All right, so from the House of Dua, this is Poseidon's Ocean Mist Cologne. Now this is a hybrid of Nautica Voyage and Creed Cologne. All right. So sandalwood, you had that cucumber-like smell from like Nautica. Musk, I believe I said sandalwood already. Bergamot. This, every time I wear this, and as you can see, another dent in this, and I'm being very generous with just kind of making sure when I wear this, I'm wearing this specifically on certain occasions, because of the fact that I haven't seen Dua put this back out, and it's quite unfortunate. Man, I can't keep going back to this test strip. This one, man, just give me a minute. Man, this one is an 8 to 10 hour fragrance. 8 to 10. And high heat, you can wake up smelling like this, and then you can go to bed smelling like this. Like, take a shower, but it's just like, that's how potent and strong this is. And I've been letting this sit on my my shelving area for quite some time, and you know, with the maceration process of it, just kind of like letting all the notes settle and, you know, giving it time to mature, this one has matured beautifully, okay? And I'm so sad. But this is the other summer fragrance that I would be rocking, and I wish y'all would rock this too. But if you happen to find it, let me know. But if you don't, sorry. But that is Poseidon's Ocean Mist Cologne. So that was one designer, one Middle Eastern. You know, I had Dua in there as well. But yeah, those are my fragrances that I would probably put together if I only had those within the seasons to wear. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit that notification bell just to let you know when your boy is posting. And once again, shout out to my homie Trev, my brother Trev at TZ Fragrances. I'm gonna make sure that the description of his channel is down in the description, so y'all can check him out too. All right, so I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.